Hey everybody, it's D again. I have a short video, but bear with me. It's going to be kind of noisy because I'm trying to make a point here. Earlier today, my daughter and I were driving about. We were exercising and everything, and we kept passing by a bunch of communities that were primarily Hispanically owned or owned by Asians. And I thought, wow, why is that? And I pointed out to my daughter, it's that way because they have unified. They've unified together. They've unified their money. They've unified in every way, shape, or form. And I'm going to point around and let you see that all of these businesses, even from way down the block here, it's like 2 blocks down, is primarily owned by Asians and Hispanics. Now, or Latin people, I should be politically correct. The point that I'm making is they were able to do that, as I said before, because they are organized and they unified. There is not one black-owned store from 2 blocks, and this is very large blocks, 2 blocks. When I first moved here to Riverside, this whole area was probably predominantly white-owned. There was, a huge shopping center full of white-owned businesses. Now, on this same block, there are 2 super large Latin-owned grocery stores, like full-on grocery stores. I'm not talking about fruit stand. I'm talking about a gigantic store, like a regular store. 2 of them on the same block, and both of those stores are completely full with people shopping. Why? Because they shop with each other. They get it. And you know what? I'm not mad, because if you go in any one of those stores, you're not going to see anybody else but their own working in the stores. You're just not going to. And you know what? That's what they can do because they have unified, and they can say, I don't want to hire you. I'm going to hire my own. That's the way it's supposed to work. So the point of this video is, if we being black people unify and put our money together, we can do this too. It's not hard. We just have to be loyal to each other and do what we need to do to bring our community up where it's supposed to be. All right, so I hope that I was informational and shed some light on the situation. But have a great evening. Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hand, Sadiq. We are on several things now. We are on, let me turn my Wi-Fi off just in case. We are on, one second, bear with me. See, yeah, I knew it was going to do that. It says trying to reconnect. Right on time. Okay, I'm back. All right, so again, it's me, Demetra K, sitting here with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hand, Sadiq. We are in several, what do you call these? Platforms now. That's the word I was looking for, platforms. We are on, obviously, Facebook. We are on YouTube.
Twitter.
We are on Twitter.
Google+.
We are on Google+.
And we just made iHeartRadio.
And now we're on iHeartRadio.
And Spotify.
So
we're moving on up.
We're moving on up. So in case you have any of those platforms, please feel free to join us there. How exactly, I don't know, because I'm not really technologically savvy like Donovan is, but I'm sure he'll show me.
There. Yeah, right there.
Well, we are there. So anyway, how is everybody? I want to give everybody an opportunity to get on before we get started with our topic, which I want to keep it simple again, just because I got kind of lazy. But no, it's going to be insightful nevertheless. And so before I get into our topic, I want to briefly talk about a conversation. Hey, Donald. I want to briefly talk about a conversation that I had with somebody a couple of days ago. It was an Asian gentleman. And he was an older guy. He was in his 70s. And he was saying that he doesn't like the attitude of a lot of the young Asian people. And he's Korean, to be specific. So he doesn't like their attitude.
Is that because they're taking on an American?
Well, no, he said he doesn't like their attitude about black people. And he was mad about it. He says they don't have the right. He says anybody that's not black does not have the right to dislike black people. He said because especially for them being Asians, he said black people paved the way for them. He said because if it wasn't for black people, hey Terry, doing the work in regards to civil rights and stuff like that, they wouldn't be where they are.
Right, they wouldn't have the advantage.
Yeah, and that's what he said. And so I thought, I'm like, Well, that's very interesting because I've never heard anybody from a different race really
stand up for us.
Yeah, I mean, he was mad about it. This is an old school Asian guy, like I said, 74 years old. But then I also got kind of somber because I'm like, yeah, it was because we talked about this, and I think it was Marcus that actually raised the point in that black people paved the way for civil rights by doing the hard work, and we have dropped the ball. But on the flip side of that, too, this Asian gentleman's statement, yeah, black people paved the way for everybody else, and they took the ball and ran with it. And it's just us that are still kind of stagnant. We're kind of, you know, where we left off in what in the 1960s. And so I told him, I said, well, thank you for acknowledging, you know, the work that black people have done to help, I guess, inadvertently further everybody else's thing. But it also just reminded me, too, as black people, we need to get to work. And
so all those ass whoopings we took for y'all, I'm glad you guys are benefiting from it.
Right, but, you know, wasn't we supposed to benefit from it?
So they say.
Right, and so, anyway, I'll go ahead and get started with the topic at hand. I just kind of want to, you know, to mention that, the conversation that I had with an Asian fellow who was mad at the younger Asian people for being racist toward black people. He basically said that they don't have the right to do that. Okay, and so anyway, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote black love, knowledge, and understanding of the things that go on in the black community to make us an even better people, right? And so again, I'd like to say thank you to Donovan for making all this happen. You guys see the green screen now. Later on, it'll be produced into this big, illustrious Hollywood production. And all the bells and whistles.
It just helps emphasize what you're saying.
Right. Okay. You know, I don't know nothing about that. So anyway, thank you. Big thank you to Donovan for making that possible. Also, thank you to you guys for joining us because we couldn't do this show without you. It is because of your dialogue that we can have this show. And so thank you very much. And I promise you guys I'll get to every last one of your comments in just a second. So let me go ahead and get started. All right. So as black people, we need to start where we are with what we have. That is the working title that we have today. As black people, we need to start where we are with what we have. All right, let me also turn my sound off so you guys won't keep hearing that. All right, that should be much better. All right, no distractions. Okay, so time and time again, we keep seeing videos of murderous police killing. Well, I had to start off strong, you know.
Okay, got you.
We keep seeing videos of murderous police killing and harassing black people and other races of people doing the same racist things to black people. We don't have to mention the many times that we've seen other races call us names and harm us physically while we're spending $1.3 trillion, nearly $1.3 trillion with them, right? Now, just this morning, I saw a video of a Mexican-American woman, I guess she was, who was a manager at a Minneapolis Chipotle, telling a group of black boys that they need to pay for their food first before they can place their order. Now, right. Now, although it said there was some other chicanery going on maybe on behalf of the black boys, but even still, she could have handled it a different way. You can see other customers who were purchasing their food and ordering and not have ordering and then purchasing their food, and she told them, no, you know, you guys don't pay. I'm not going to make your order until you pay. So she lost her job, to say the least. All right. So that's just one example. Also, what's going to happen on this coming Friday, right? Black Friday. We have Black Friday that's coming up. Statistically, black people are responsible for 87% of all retail spending. I want to say that to you guys again. Let's say it together. Black people are responsible for 87% of all retail spending. Okay, so how far is that away from 100%? 13%. So the 13%, or is that right? Yeah, 13%, because I'm like, I don't do math that well. But 13% that's left for everybody else. And it said that 87% of the retail spending black people do. That is mind-blowing, you guys. Okay, and so let's do the math. We are roughly 14% of the population at about 42 million, but we outspend everyone else. How is that possible? I think we have some ideas, but I just have to ask the question, right? So what am I saying? We have to start where we are with what we have. Until we start doing that, the police will continue to kill and harass us. Other races will continue to disrespect us as we're spending our money with them. Again, spending our money, 97% of our money with them. Let's see what else we have. And we'll continue to slip further and further into the abyss of nothingness until eventually we disappear. Now, that's a fact, you guys. We are eventually going to disappear through a whole host of things, whether it's abortion, incarceration, just you name it. Police murdering us murdering ourselves. So it's a whole host of things that's going to contribute to our demise, right? And so I briefly illustrated to you all that we have the money to save ourselves. Case and point. Per blackmeninamerica.com, blacks that own businesses only get 2% of black consumer dollars. So only 2% of us are spending, or 2% of black dollars are going to black businesses, okay? And so it is said that we only need to spend about 10% of black dollars in black businesses to generate jobs for black people. Imagine being able to go to work with and for your own folks. Now, okay, let's start listing some small but impactful ways that we can start where we are with what we have to start building some black wealth. And the reason why I wanted to start with that, and something, I call it something simple opposed to, where we usually go with our talking points. But we always talk about the problems in our community. We talk about this all the time. We could log on to Facebook or any form of social media and see police officers doing things to black people, other races doing things to black people.
Black women shaking their asses. Sorry. I'm just saying, you can see it though. It's there.
What site are you going to see it?
Instagram. It just pops up. Twitter just pops up. Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to continuously have these things happen to us. Let's just be honest. Again, nobody's coming to save black people but black people. It is also said that with the money we have, we make up the 11th largest, or I guess richest, we could, if we combine our money together, 11th richest country in the world, black people in America. But again, we are at the bottom of everything you can possibly think of. You name
category.
It. Name something.
Obesity.
We're at the top or the bottom, or probably the worst, whatever it is. Yeah. We're the worst in every way, shape, or form. As I was compiling my notes, I was looking at a bunch of statistics in regards to black people, and it says that our spending is like, tobacco is several billions of dollars, alcohol, sodas, and entertainment, and a whole host of other things. And then there was healthcare. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't have my microphone. Healthcare. Luckily, I talk loud enough,
yes,
though,
Yes.
So healthcare, as black people, we spend the most money. Now, I asked my daughter to look at it. I said, do some deductive reasoning here. And she looked, and she says, okay, well, we spend the most black people on healthcare. I said, okay, now look at all the other stuff we're spending money on. I said, tobacco, partying, alcohol. I said, and all that. So I said, all those things will lead to you being what? She goes, unhealthy. So it's not a secret why, we spend the most on healthcare, because now we're trying to undo all of the things all of the things that are making us unhealthy. And so I'm going to ask you guys, Donovan and myself, what are some small things? What are some small things that we can do to start moving the ball forward? Again, as I said earlier, Black Friday is coming up. Again, keep in mind that black people spend about 87% of the 87% of the retail spending, meaning that we pretty much are like
they depend on us to have a good retail season.
And for our time made the point a couple of years ago, 2015, when he called for a boycott of Black Friday, in that if black people was to abstain from spending during Black Friday, that would shut some things down. And black people, when we did that, for the most part, it did put a huge dent in the consumer index, I guess, if you will, because we withheld our black dollars.
And it also wakened them up to their ears to say, hey, we got to...
Well, they know that. The cool part about that, and I'm waiting for you guys to comment, because I see a couple comments, but the thing is, the powers that be that we give our money to, they already know that. They've known it for
We're a
years.
sleeping giant.
Yeah, as we talked about in a bunch of times, the film called How to Market to the Sell to the Negro Market in the 1950s, they knew that. They're like, hey, stop neglecting these black people.
They got dollars.
Because these black people have money.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need, at the time it was $15 billion, so we need to figure out how to get $15 billion.
Out of that community.
Right, and so you think about it. We worked together and we spent our money together because we were segregated. So it's like, well, we would like to go buy a nice, I don't know, I'm just throwing a name out there, yeah, or a Gucci hat, but they won't sell it to me. So now I have to go to my brother who's a hat maker, or, you know, somebody who's black who has an appliance shop. But then when they started saying, okay, let's tolerate the Negroes. Let's go ahead and tolerate them.
You know, and you bring up a good point, because like, okay, like let's say back in the 40s and the 50s, since I couldn't go to the grocery store there, we had to make our own, so I had to go to our grocery store. So when I got the money from Miss Sally.
Wait, give me a second. Can you look at the show? They're saying that it's buffering really bad.
Well, when I would have to go to Miss Sally, I'd take that money and then go within my own neighborhood and spend it.
One moment, I'm going to see if the show is still buffering really bad.
Nope.
No, it's, it might be your NL. No, it's going good from what I can see. Okay, so, well, I'll continue to go, and you guys let me know if you guys continue to see some issues here.
Yeah, she only stops for Al.
Well, no, I just saw the comment,
Yeah.
and so, but yeah, I mean, they knew what to do.
Yeah, but back in the day, we used to take our money. I can't go to the white shop, so I have to go to my own neighborhood.
Right, and so now they've tolerated us for money. I mean, hell, money is universal. It's green. It spins everywhere. I mean, everybody wants money, and so it doesn't matter if it comes from your black ass hands. You know.
Yeah, I got to tell you where it came from.
Right, you know, although sometimes, you know, people, they don't want to give you a change, they'll drop it in
they're
your
dropping it, or just put it on the counter.
Right, they'll drop it in your hand, or like I said, put it on the counter, and so, I mean, I don't know, but so I don't see a bunch of comments, so I'm wondering if there are some issues, but you seem like you're doing fine.
Yeah, real quick, I want to give
ahead.
a shout out to my big brother there. He had a foot surgery or some shit went down, so good luck to you, and I guess I won't be getting that insurance payout.
Something for you, what's that? Really?
Well, he made it.
Oh my God.
So.
Okay, can you guys tell me, yeah, I don't see anybody now. Let's see.
Are you on? Well, you're online. It's obvious you're online.
Yeah, I'm online. You can see me. Let me see. Hold on one second, you guys. Bear with me one moment.
Nope.
I'm on, huh?
You're on. You're totally fine.
Let's see. 1 second, you guys.
Carrie's getting it fine. All kinds of people are getting it fine.
Let's see. I'm asking somebody to see if I'm on here. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. All right, so anyway, we keep going. Regardless, we keep it moving. Hold on.
You're on.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So anyway, let me get to Terry's comment here. Okay. So let's.
Terry's in the house. Big brother Terry.
Right. So Terry says she was right too, but they're too blinded. He says no, I'm not on.
You're on. They're on here.
Okay. Let me start over.
You might need to restart your.
Okay,
thing,
guys.
but you're on here. I'm getting you right here.
Huh? That's weird. Hold on a second.
Go ahead and do a reboot. We're going to do a reboot for you guys. So you guys that are on Facebook Live, you guys stand by. But as far as the radio, I will be taking over the Demetra K
Go
Show
right on here, brother.
temporarily. And I want to tell you guys about an event I went to. It's called We Are Music Changing Lives. It's a nonprofit that's here in Moreno Valley and Riverside. And you guys can check them out at Instagram, Music Changing Lives, Facebook, Music Changing Lives, IE, and Twitter, Music Changing.
I might have
And,
to put my Wi-Fi back on.
and the thing with this group is, for those of us in the Inland Empire, at the Redlands Community Center, they have piano classes, and they also offer classes in studio sessions, audio production and audio recording. And I was actually there, and they had a studio. And so for those of you guys that are trying to become professional or do demo tapes, instead of going in that closet and recording the, see, this is what you get for being late.
I was not late.
You could actually go to a studio in Redlands and record a demo tape, and a little bit more professional about it and a little bit more polished. So I'm going to strongly recommend that. So this week, if you guys get a chance, tune in to Don't Believe the Hype, Donovan Sadiq Show, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, and we're going to give you a little bit about a background into it. If you guys are interested, the number's 951-992-0721. musicchanginglives@gmail.com if you have any questions. The lessons for ages 5 and up, so you got to be at least 5 and a little older, and it's only $20 a month per class. Scholarships are available. I went to the event, and I'm going to tell you, it was an amazing event. If you have let's say a child that's very shy, music is a way to bring out that shyness and to bring out their personality and stuff. And I saw a kid that was singing, and it was just a very, very great event. They had a photo booth there, they had food, they had a basketball net thing, and then there was an award ceremony, and they gave out annual awards. And I'm going to tell you this: in the black community, we are losing our justification in our musicians within our community. And I just wish, like, I'm an R&B guy, and R&B is dying, and we got to save R&B. I mean, that's our bloodline and our lifeline. So if you have a child that might have a musical gift, or you think they might have a musical gift, I know all the kids want to be Beyonce and be the lead singer and stuff, and that's great, but have they been musically trained? Because like I said, not everybody can, start in the church from the time they're 4 and then work their way up to where they are like very good singers. A lot of our prominent singers started in the church. Chaka Khan, Brandy, you name them all. They got their training in the church. Whitney Houston, you could just go on and go on. So if you guys are interested, that's a great place to start with music thing. So Demetria and her flip phone are still working at the problem.
In your,
It's what it is it's somebody has put me in a group text, and it's causing it's causing some issues. So I do apologize for the ratchetness. Honestly, I do.
well,
How do you tighten this thing here?
it's right back here.
Oh, shut up, Donovan.
Here.
I'm under distress.
Yeah, and you just tighten it.
See what I'm saying? Watch.
There you go.
You know what? I don't think you get sweat.
So that's why a woman always will need a man who will handle a business and stuff like that.
All right.
So are we ready to go?
I think so.
Are we back? You guys that are on the podcast, thank you for being patient with our host. But, she's doing 101 things, and she's a very popular person, so these glitches do happen. So let's give her a round of applause, because for Dee, it doesn't happen often, and that's a good thing. She's very consistent in how she handles her business. So how do you guys like this weather out here? I mean, these fires, people were asking about the fires and stuff, and I want you guys to really take this seriously. It's not a joke. 71 people are still missing.
Oh, yeah.
The whole town of that Paradise Town has been burned to the ground. A lot of elderly people were killed.
Well, they need
and they're still getting the numbers. So nobody deserves to die like that, to be burned to death. But
all right, you guys. I'm sorry.
And we're back.
I had to switch phones. Now I'm busting a mad sweat. I'll wait for you guys to come back on. My apologies here. That's terrible. Terrible.
So basically, you're in a group text.
I'm in a group text.
And it knocked you off.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in a group text, and so it knocked me off. So let's give everybody a moment here.
Sure.
As we said too, for those of you guys on the podcast, we apologize. Donovan, he just needs to get his stuff together.
She can't remember to put her mic on. We need to get our stuff together. Good thing she has a powerful voice.
Donovan needs to get his stuff together. Otherwise,
as an engineer and technician, I'm slipping.
All right, you guys. How was that? Is that much better now? Okay, I see people on now. I apologize apologize, you guys. My other phone, I'm involved in this massive group text for a reason that I wish that I wasn't, but I am.
Okay, let's tell them the truth. That picture Al sent you, that personal picture?
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so anyway, so Tay is listening to us. I am so sorry. This is like very bad. Yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So do you guys feel like I need to start over?
Yes, I think you need to start over.
You need to start over? Yes, okay. So let me go ahead and get started over. I'll read my notes, and I apologize, Tay, if you have to hear this again. But I want to get start over because we just should. All right, and so, again, all right, this is the topic of the show. As Black people, we need to start where we are with what we have. Time and time again, we keep seeing videos of murders, police killings, and harassing Black people and other races of people doing and saying things to Black people. Let's see. We don't even have to mention the many times that we've seen other races call us names and even harm us physically while we're spending nearly $1.3 trillion with them. Just this morning, I saw a video of a Mexican woman who was a manager at a Minneapolis Chipotle telling a group of Black boys that they needed to pay for their food first before they could place their order. Although the details are kind of questionable about that case, is saying that, you know, the boys might have been involved in some nonsense, some chicanery before that. And
like most kids.
Right. So anyway, she was fired. A lot of people arguing, too, that she could have dealt with it in a different way. And so we'll keep on going. Now, and also we have something very big that's coming up on Friday.
Yes.
It's called Black Friday.
That's right. Matter of fact, I'm getting in line Tuesday.
And then, for the most part,
75-inch TV.
Well, you might have to, because a lot of things are opening on Thanksgiving now. Like, not Thanksgiving night, but Thanksgiving Day. I know a friend of mine who works at Chipotle, JCPenney's, and they're going to open at 2 p.m. that day. So hurry up and start the turkey down and go.
So now you came and spend time with your family more because you want to do all this other stuff. So.
Get in here and make this money. What they say on the Players Ball.
Or spend this money. Mm-hmm.
What is that, the Players Club?
Players Club.
When the money comes, the plastic
lights. Get down there. Get down there.
Right.
Got some ballers in the house.
Right. Okay, and so Black Friday, you guys, is coming up. Now, statistically, Black people are responsible for 87% of retail spending. Let's do the math. We are 14% of the population at roughly 42 million, but we outspend everyone else. Now, I'm going to say that to you again. Okay, that was crazy. Say that to you again. Black people spend 87% of, we're 87% of the retail spending. So let's just say for Black Friday, 80% of the money that's going to be spent is going to be Black people spending that money.
White folks just laughing.
How? That's mind-boggling to me that we're going to be spending that. Almost 100% of the spending is going to come from Black people.
It's not mind-boggling to me because when tax time comes, that's where you have so-and-so. We're always trying to play catch-up. So
I don't love you that much to spend 87% of my income on no Christmas presents.
My kids got to have a good Christmas, even though I live in the ghetto.
Lights and I have roof over their head.
They gotta have the kid. They gotta have things that I didn't get, and I didn't have my daddy in my life.
What I didn't get was an opportunity to go farther, and so you're not doing that on no new Nikes, not today.
Gotcha.
All right, and so what am I saying? We have to start where we are with what we have. Until we start doing that, the police will continue to kill and harass us. Other races will continue to disrespect us as we're spending our money with them. And we'll continue to slip further and further into the abyss of nothingness until eventually we disappear. Believe it or not, Black people, we are starting to disappear. You name it. As we said earlier, abortions, incarcerations, murdered by police officers, murdered by ourselves, homosexuality, whether we agree with it or not. There's a whole host of things that are working against us. And so, let's see. I just briefly illustrated to you all that we have the money to save ourselves. Again, we're working with $1.3 trillion. In 2020, it's said that we'll have about $1.4 billion. And so we continuously earn the money, but we're not keeping the money. That's the problem. It spends about 6 hours in our community. Once we get it, we spend it. Asians, I think they keep their money about 30 days. And then everybody else is somewhere in between. And so, as somebody talked about last week, it says that it will take us 228 years to catch up with the wealth of white people at the rate we are going.
So basically, we'll be dead.
Yeah, you'll be dead because I'm going to still be here.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Gotcha.
So anyway, yes, that's almost, let's just say that's never for us if at the rate we're going, if we don't start doing something differently, okay? So per blackmeninamerica.com, blacks that own businesses only get 2% of black consumer dollars. It is said that we only need to spend about 10% of black dollars in black businesses to generate jobs for black people. Imagine being able to work with and for our own people, just 10%. So right now we're at 2% of money that we spend in black businesses. But if we were to spend just 8% more, we could create jobs for each other, and we can, pretty much kill the unemployment rate as far as black people are concerned. Because as it is now, we are dependent upon everybody else to give us a job. And they said besides black people, the government is the biggest employer of black people. We just like government jobs. Nothing wrong with that because of security and, I got all these pension plans and this, that, and the other. But wouldn't we want to work for ourselves?
Well, I'm going to tell everybody a secret. The best job to have in the United States isn't a corporate job. It is a government job. You have to serve one term in Congress, and you will get 100% of your salary for the rest of your life.
Where do I sign up?
And the best pension ever.
Where do I sign up?
All you got to do is run for office and win.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, and so let's start listing some small but impactful ways that we can start where we are with what we have by start building black wealth. And I said some small impactful ways because a lot of times, and I'm going to get to every one of you guys' comments right now, a lot of times we're thinking too large. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't dream big, but we are thinking, I think this is my personal opinion, I could be wrong. Right now, we're thinking too large. We always talk about trying to go save the world instead of just starting with our own household. Imagine if we were to teach our children about black economics by spending with each other. And remind me to tell you guys a story really quick, but I want to get to you guys' comments. And again, I apologize for the snafu that I had going on earlier. My other phone is it's kind of outdated, but people were sending me, I'm in this group text. And so it kind of jacks me up. So I apologize for that. I'm on my iPhone that I never use because I don't like iPhones. All right. So hello to everybody. Samuel says greetings. Shantae says, hey, listening to you guys on the ride home.
Hey,
Marcus,
Shantae.
thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thank you, Marcus, for spreading the message of the show. We appreciate you greatly.
Yes.
Again, we need to have you on the show because you have a lot of insightful wisdom and knowledge and great things to say. Samuel also said, I just saw someone on Facebook post that reminds me of Al. Okay. Thank you, Al, for letting me know that we were in the Twilight Zone. You say much better. Some people don't believe that fat meat is greasy.
Hey, we were getting the feed over here, so I don't know.
I believe you. I mean, you're right. We was getting it over here. And hey, Billy, what's happening? It says Black Power, Queen Black Power to you as well. And Al says, I can't tell you what to do. All right.
Book of Ike is on the way.
Don't you sing the Book of Ike. And Tay says, not this black girl. I don't participate in Black Friday. Me either. Hey, Eric. And then Al says, Showtime has a documentary about the negative things of black people in society and sports called Shut Up and Dribble.
Yeah.
Who is that? That's what LeBron, right?
Yeah, well, that was, what's her name? Ann Coulter?
Laura Ingrams.
Laura Ingrams told LeBron.
Yeah, so that's genius. I'm going to take your ignorant words against me, and I'm going to turn it around and use it. That's gangster.
Yeah, speaking of LeBron, what you guys think Carmelo Anthony's going to end up with the Lakers? No, that's a sports thing. Never mind.
So anyway, hey, Amanda. And then let's see, James.
Oh, Afro Thunder.
Yes, now you gotta act like you got some sense.
Yeah, I got some.
And James, she says, this has to be the year of black people are not caught up on Xmas, right?
Wrong.
Wrong. I don't do Christmas.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't. I don't do Christmas. I haven't done Christmas in a long time. Even before I got woke, as some people would say, I didn't do Christmas because I just don't want nobody dictating. Well, let me take it way, way, way back. I was also born in the Nation of Islam, and so Muslims don't participate per se in, pagan holidays. And so that was something that I was used to. And then when I got to become an adult, I didn't really participate in Christmas much either. Well, for one, I didn't always have the money. And then
Absolutely.
And two, is because I don't want nobody telling me how to spend my money. All of a sudden, y'all done made this holiday, and now I got to go spend all this money.
To be a part of the group.
Yeah, to be a part of the group, and then no.
Right.
So that's why I don't do it.
statistically, if you want to know by the numbers, because black and brown people have never been employed in such an economy ever before, they're saying that the disposable income with all those slave wage jobs and all these warehouses and the Amazon thing, the low level Negroes will be shopping at
right, because
things.
we have a false sense of belonging. If y'all see me with this Gucci bag, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what a Gucci bag looked like. But if y'all see me with a Gucci bag, then everybody's gonna know, hey, I'm popping.
Yeah, you're popping, but I see you working at Amazon coming out of the Section 8.
You know what? Mind your business. Okay, you don't worry about where my money is coming from. Okay.
Right. Okay. Your nails are done. You got that lace front with the tag right here in the front. That's what I'm saying.
Really? You said that is why. That's why it should be boots on the ground. Black Power, National Defense, SoCal. Stop giving. You said SoCal. SoCal. I can read. Stop giving those people your money. Buy from your own people. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's a good question. Where are the black businesses?
Well, they're around. You know, and that's another thing too. I think a lot of times we get caught up in saying there's no black businesses. Mm-hmm. There are black businesses. Unfortunately, we're going to have to work a little bit harder to find them. Right. That's just the way it works. I was on a post earlier, and they were saying something about a black restaurant. And some people were already, because it was about the Chipotle thing, and they're saying, well, we need to go with our own. And then it caused a lot of negative black people. It's like, well, you know, but maybe if we have changed our attitude, and maybe if the food wasn't high. And I'm like, yo, if we start shopping with each other more, then the prices will go down. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to charge you probably $5 more for a plate in a black restaurant than you would get anywhere else, like with the Koreans or whatever, because there's more of them and the food is cheaper because they have more money to work with.
And they know how to live with each other.
Right.
But here's my question.
Hey,
when it comes to the black businesses, what I'm saying is, it's Christmas time. I want to get that 75-inch screen TV. What black business that you know, a mom and pop store that is selling TVs or electronics or...
Well, I don't know personally because I don't have a TV, but I'm sure that it exists somewhere. I mean, there's a lot of people who are black people who have distributorships, if that's what you call distribution centers. So, I mean, you just have to do the work. I know it's hard because right now, we live in a instant gratification society where we want it all right now. I don't want to wait. Hell, even Amazon to get it to you that day if you pay enough money. And so we just got to do the work to try to find the black businesses. Sure. You know what I mean? And so Donald says, my biggest regret is I'm not business savvy to have my own business. You know what? Business savvy is what you make it. As long as there is Google and there's books and, you know, you're reaching out to other people, you decide which business you want, and then you get a meeting of the minds. That's what they call it, a meeting of the minds. And then you figure out how to make that happen. A lot of times, too, as I was saying earlier, we think too big. Like, if you want to open a store, don't try to do Walmart right now. Because even when Sam Walton didn't start with this grand big box store, he started with a mom and pop. And then it blew up into that. So that's kind of why I wanted to go with the title of we got to work with what we where we are with what we have right now. And so you are business savvy. Don't discount yourself. Hey, used to know. He says, I'm here. Yes, you are. Hey, Tammy. And then Samuel says, the tall, light-skinned guy back in the day that could dance so cool on Soul Train.
Oh, it's about Al?
Yeah. He was the cool one.
Yeah, his name was Big Louie.
Okay.
Big Louie.
You watch too much damn TV.
Hey, I'm telling you.
And then Terry says it's manipulation. Absolutely. And Marcus says every now and then let them know if they want to comment, go to the Demetra K and tap the link to get in on the live feed. Okay, so I'll repeat that. If you guys want to comment, tap the link to get on the live feed. I thought I was public. I don't know why people who I'm not friends with can't comment, but I don't know what else to do. But please tap on the link so you can get in on the conversation. And Al says, what is the main qualification for a black woman to be a Walmart employee? Answer, no, you ain't going there. Hey, Benny. And Donald, you have a whole bunch of emojis, and Houston over says, black people need to go home. And when you say go home, go to Africa, I'm going to tell you this. Yesterday, I was watching videos of black people who had actually moved back to Africa. African Americans have gone back home, as you would say. And I'm like, you know what? That's looking more and more like the move right there. Because one lady made a good point. She says, you know what? Why stay in a place where you're never going to get over racism, or racism is never going to end?
It's always a constant battle.
Why be a place where everything is adverse to you just because you're black? Mm-hmm. She says, why not come home and be amongst your people. She says, now admittedly, there's some issues there too.
Yeah.
Because she says the Africans there kind of see us as white or being whitewashed.
Yeah.
But she says, I'd rather deal with that than to deal with what I'm going through in America. And I mean, I'm like, that sounds good.
To each his own. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but again, yeah, I'm of African descent, but I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't like it. They don't like me, and I don't like them.
You know what? You just special. Yeah. Hey, Charles. And Al says, tall, light-skinned, bronze, soul trained with the shades was named Louis Sky Carr.
That's his real name, but he goes by the name of Big Louis. So yes.
Y'all watch too much TV. I'm sorry. And hey, Secret Garden, what's happening? So I'll tell you guys a story while I'm waiting for some more comments. So the other day I was at a swap meet. Some of you guys might call it a flea market. Yeah. Where you guys are in the country, we call it a swap meet out here. They have them at the drive-ins.
At our drive-ins.
Yes, we still have drive-ins. Yeah. 2 of them in our area. And so I'm walking by, and my motto has always been, never pass by your sister or a brother to do business with another. And so the reason I say that is because at these swap meets, it's predominantly Hispanics that sell there.
Now, yeah, right. Before it wasn't like that 30 years ago.
Right, but now it's predominantly Hispanic and other people, but predominantly Hispanic. And
remember we used to go there and get our those little copper hoops?
Yeah, we used to get a whole lot. I went for cleaning supplies,
right,
because I like to save money, and so... But as I said, I'm never going to pass by one of my brothers or sisters and go do business with everybody else. And so I saw a brother there. He was selling, like I said on my post on Facebook, some knickknacks, some kind of odds, ends. Nothing really spectacular that I needed.
And God bless you for buying for him, because I would rather, like you say, buy from a person like that rather than him rob you later.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to stab you.
I'm just...
So, but anyway, so I walked over to his table, like, what you got, brother? And he says, come over here. He says, I got all these books. He said, my mom was a professor, and this was an older guy. So y'all saw the books that I posted on Facebook. And he said, my mom was a professor, and she had all these books. She believed in acquiring black knowledge. And he says, you can have any book you want, all of them, for $5. Take as many as you want. I left there with 2 bags. Now, I gave him $6 because it was all that I had. But I wish I could have gave him more. But I took them. So it was a two-way street here.
Well, what was the book? I Know Why the Cage Birds Sing.
It was a few of them. It was Toni Morrison's Tar Baby.
Yeah, because I'm looking for that book.
Yeah, you can have it if you want. Okay. So yeah, I got quite a bit of books about the African American family, just a bunch of stuff that I'm reading now that kind of led me somewhere else that I'm researching and some other stuff. But the point that I'm making is, I didn't walk by him. I didn't say, well, he's just got a bunch of junk. He ain't got nothing I need. I was like, I'm going to buy something. I don't care if it's a burnt up candle. It's a rusty nail.
Right.
I'm going to
roach
buy
clip. I'm just agreeing with you. It's a roach clip, something.
I'm going to hurt you. But I was going to buy something from my brother. Because to me, it looks bad. I'm walking by this black man, and I'm going to do business with everybody else. And for one, I didn't want my brother to see me do that. Because I didn't want him to shake his head at me and say, wow, there goes my sister. Now, of course, biologically, I'm not speaking as my brother, but I didn't want him to say, there goes my sister going to give black dollars to everybody else, and she won't even come stop to see me.
But what if I wasn't in, they were looking for books. I was there looking for, let's say, cleaning products.
Well, he had a whole bunch of other stuff, but the point that I'm making is I'm speaking to me, I'm not going to... I'm not admonishing anybody. I'm just saying for me, we got to stop making excuses to not, I wasn't there for books. I got a lot of books. You can never have enough books. Let's just keep it real.
That's true.
I wasn't there for books. But maybe the universe says you are there for books because there was so much knowledge that I had in those bags for $6. I mean, it was priceless. And so the point that I'm making is we have to stop making excuses to not deal with each other, because at the end of the day, we're giving 97% of our black dollars to everybody else to go make a difference in their community, while our community continuously just erodes.
Okay, let me ask you this quick question. Shouldn't we also be addressing the fact that we are letting other people come into our community and set up shop?
Well,
versus... you can't just do one and not the other. I'm not saying, exclude everybody.
Okay, but let's ask the question. See, now I'm going to put on my teacher's hat.
There you go.
How are we allowing them to do that?
By patronizing their stores.
Okay, but that's one way. But the other way we're allowing other people to come in our neighborhoods is because we know in our neighborhoods we got a lot of buildings that are vacant, that are for sale or whatever. And I know there's a lot of bureaucracy
Sure.
that goes on against black people purchasing stuff. But at the end of the day, we purchase everything else. Don't go buy a brand new shiny ass Cadillac before you go put a down payment on a property so you can open up a business or a rental property or rent to the people in the neighborhood. Because what happens is we cry about gentrification because everybody else is coming in and buying that property for dirt cheap, flipping it around, selling it for high rents that we can't afford, and then we get ran out of our own neighborhoods. And so, yes, we're allowing it by not being proactive. As black people, we are reactive. We don't get on top of stuff until it starts happening to us.
Yeah, then it's too late. I think 3 or 4 years ago, you did a video on that where you went to this neighborhood that used to be black.
Yeah.
And then it's all Hispanic
now. It's all Hispanic now. And Al says, why are some Walmarts put in the rural black neighborhoods?
Because we're big consumers.
We are big time consumers. They know that let's be honest, everybody for the most part is going to Walmart, but you could put up, I don't know, a shoelace shop in a black neighborhood and we'll go buy it because people know that overall we're consumers. And so that's why it's called marketing. I want to make money, so I'm going to put my store or my business, whatever, in the neighborhood I know is going to just be easy money. And that's what black people are. We don't question anything. We go in like zombies and just give our money away.
Yeah, in TV, you guys don't really realize this. A lot of the TV shows and sitcoms are aired toward the black community. If the black community catches on to that, that's how Fox became a network.
Right.
You have In Living Color, New York
and
Undercover.
Fox is a very racist network, but they flipped it over, like you said, to black programming.
Right.
And Benny says, I swear I love you so much. Well, I love you too. Yeah. And another thing, to your point about the ads, if you guys see the Macy's ads, please stay out of Macy's. Macy's put up their Christmas ads. There's 4 pictures. One depicts a black woman, a single black woman with her children. They're laughing. Yeah. The 2 other ones portray white families, a whole white family, a mom and a dad, the kids, and the dogs. And then the other one depicts a gay couple, a black man and a white man with kids.
Of course.
And so right away that tells us that they are, and you know what, because me and my daughter was discussing it, she says, well, don't they have black people sitting in on these meetings? And I said, Deanna, they know what they're doing. This is done on purpose because they know we're not going to do anything. They know that we're going to be 87% of the spending that goes on, especially this holiday season. Black people are docile. We could put an ad up demeaning a black woman as a single family, and then a black man as, gay, but the white people are whole families. They're not going to do anything. That is the effeminization of black men and then the demonization of black women, and saying that we're not good enough to be, wed. So here, we'll put this ad out with a single black woman. All right. Hey, Arson, and Al says, what about putting a reasonable price coffee shop in the urban community and call it Black Bucks? Well, I like it.
Well, they did that. Magic Johnson had Starbucks all over LA.
Honestly, we have a black coffee shop in Riverside, and I go to. It's called Back to the Grind. I go there. I personally like making my own coffee at home, but if I'm going to buy coffee out, I will go there. And it's not even in a convenient spot downtown. When you park, you got to pay $100 a park. But you know what? If I'm going to spend some money on coffee, I'd rather give it to my black brother, just plain and simple. So, but yeah, coffee shops. We drink coffee. We eat. Black people eat. So restaurants are cool, which is what we like doing anyway. And Charles says, so true. We allow immigrants to exploit our communities. We do allow that. Also, as me and Donovan talk about all the time, you got to know you got to know the mind of your city council, because that shows you how your city council feels about you by the things they allow to go up in your neighborhood. Look at your neighborhood. If you have liquor stores, pawn shops, just the smoke shops and all that other nonsense, city council they give that the go-ahead to go up in the communities, but they don't do that in the affluent parts of town. They only do that in our neighborhoods. Why? Because we are not involved in local politics. We don't go to City Hall. We don't withhold our black dollars. We allow them to put any and everything in our neighborhoods, and then we complain about the stuff that goes on.
Right, the crime. A good example, a gas station in an affluent neighborhood. You never see a gas station in an affluent neighborhood. It's always in a neighborhood
where... But if you do, it's a Shell or a Mobile or something shiny. Right. But you don't. But in our neighborhoods, it's that watered down gas.
Yeah, the watered down gas station, and
with the Lucy cigarettes, and the nonsense. And Benny says, "Oh my goodness, you're speaking on it tonight." Well, I'll try to. Thank you. And then, hey Billy, what's happening, Ricky? And then Charles says, she is on fire. Am I? You know what? I'm on fire. I'm burning up, but I don't want to take my coat off because, you know, I like the look. No. Hey, Chris. And so Benny says, basically, like you said, it's simple as stop making excuses for not messing with our own. We go out of our way and get really creative and burn a tremendous amount of energy just to make excuses. Yeah, I don't get that. Well, I would, but you know,
white women do it too.
Right. The last time I went to their restaurant, you know, they only gave me 3 napkins instead of 4. You know what I'm saying? And so I just don't understand why black people can't get their stuff together. But yeah, when you go to McDonald's and they give you 1 dipping sauce for 500 chicken nuggets, you don't say nothing about that. And then you also say, Benny, the same energy can be spent on some creative ways to indeed support our own. Absolutely. You know what? Don't ever get it twisted. Black people are very creative people.
Survivors.
We can make miracles. Miracles. As survivors, okay? We make stuff happen, so why stop now? You know what I mean? And then Al says, would people shop if I put a grocery store in the black neighborhoods and call it ravenous? You know what?
They would, at first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means by calling it ravenous or ravenous or whatever you're trying to say. Unless the name is something negative, I don't think we'd have a problem with that. In fact, I think we would be ebullient about having a black grocery store that we can go to. I was talking to my daughter earlier. I said, I wonder if the name soulfoods.com is taken. And it was. They wanted to sell it to us for $10,000. I was like, okay, we can come up with a different name. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff that me and my daughter do. We kind of like, we vibe and try to figure out ways to make our money go further, not only just to help us, but to help our people. And so that's where we really should be, right? And then, Marcus, you put up a link. So you guys, if you're not friends with me for whatever reason, you can't comment, please click on the link and you can comment, hey, J. Anthony Martinez. And Al says ravenous means extremely hungry. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't do that. But, I mean, the thing is, we have to start where we are, with what we have. Nothing, I don't want to say anything is too big, but if we just start small with something. Back in the day, I don't know, we might be a little bit too young. But our parents would have what they call rent parties.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
were young, but I remember
that they used to have rent parties and they did a whole host of things to generate income.
And I'm trying to beat Al to it. There was an episode of Good Times where Helen Martin was in it, and they were getting rent for her, Weeping Wanda.
Oh.
She was about to be evicted because she was, borrowing candles and stuff.
But the point that I'm making...
And that was the last episode James was on Good Times.
Okay. So... But when we were creative, we found ways to make money.
Yeah.
And so James just says, I need to go hydroponic on the grocery stores. If it has a seed, we can grow it inside and safe. Okay. Well, yeah, and that's the thing, too. And Minister Farrakhan talked about that a lot. He talks about it a lot. He says, he just broke it down very simple. He says, we eat bread, right? And so he says, hey, we eat bread. All we need to do is plant the seeds or whatever, the wheat, harvest the wheat, make the bread, sell the bread, buy the bread. That's simple. We're all going to eat some bread. I'm trying to stay away from it, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to eat some bread at least a couple times a week. So we all eat bread. Wouldn't it be nice if we ate black golden wheat bread? I'm just making up something. Black golden wheat bread. You know what I mean? Made by black people. Wouldn't that be awesome?
No, because you're getting all the money, and I'm gonna get jealous. And no, I ain't gonna do that.
But yeah, but I know you're being funny, but there's a lot of people who would say that. But it's like, okay, but you don't have a problem with I don't know, what's oral wheat getting money? Like, who's making that?
Good point.
And let's see. And then Vinny says, I know it's been a while since I've been on, but I just lost my mother last night.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yes, indeed. And we used to listen to you together on Sunday. And so I couldn't go without saying something tonight because a lot of my comments back then, a lot of stuff she wanted me to comment. She used to say, I love that lady we've been listening to on Sundays. Well, I'm going to say this to you. My condolences to you, Vinny. I also lost my mother 2 years ago yesterday. So we have that in common, although that's nothing ever fun. I will say this to you. I will never tell you I lost my train of thought because people would say that to me a lot. oh, it's something you'll get over.
Yeah,
In
no,
time,
you'll never get over. You'll never get over.
It's not something you'll ever get over. It's just something you learn how to live with, and it's not something you want to get over. You know what I mean? And so we all deal with that in our own time and way. I just want to say, you know, if you need to talk or something, reach out to me. I understand. Like I said, I lost my mother yesterday, 2 years yesterday, so my condolences.
Right, and always remember, as long as you remember that loved one, they're never really gone.
Right. And as I say too, Benny, and I know you're probably here with me, I don't see my mom as gone. I see her as transition. I see her as my ancestor now. I've learned in the last 2 years that she's been gone that I am now, you know, I'm able to draw a lot of wisdom and a lot of things that she would say to me. Now it's just like in living color. I might not have listened totally when she was here, but now I hear it so vividly, and so it's like a blueprint for me. And that's why every morning I say thank you, God, for the lessons, and thank you, ancestors, thank you, God, for the blessings, and thank you, ancestors, for the lessons, because that's truly how our life works now. So I'm totally there with you. And I appreciate you two listening. And Samuel says, what if we copy the deception of white folks, have a black-owned store look white-owned? Well, you know what? A lot of black stores actually do that. They're black-owned, but they hire white faces. I personally am not in love with that idea, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you why I'm not in love with it. Because, for one, when we don't hire, we own, we're black owners, but we don't hire black people, it still defeats the purpose, because the money, we're getting black dollars, I guess, but then the black dollars are still going into other people's hands other than black people. And honestly, why do we got to put on the front? No other race has to do that. We go into an Asian store, Hispanic store, Indian store, Arab store. They don't have us in there. They got their own people in there, and they're unapologetic about it. So we don't need to lie to kick it. Yeah, we got all black people working here. We got a black owner. We got black people working here. We got black people spending here. And if you can spend here too, but if you don't like it, we're not going to change the face of our business to suit your ignorance. Plain and simple. And so Al says, I went to Best Buy, saw some black-owned batteries. I didn't buy the black batteries because I thought they would work sometimes. Your butt is ignorant. And Benny says, you guys are literally like family to me and her. And you know what? You are, what's on your wall? Lord have mercy, Blackheart. And we feel the same about you, Benny. I noticed that you hadn't been on in a while, but I had seen you on Facebook. So, like I said, it's rough. I will not even try to front with you, because I know how you feel. So, but you are family to us as well. And Al says, Sanford and Son had an episode on having a rent party as well. See? And Benny says, woo, oh my goodness, wow, oh my goodness. Hey, everybody that came on. And Charles says, all this, and all this stinking ass, emasculating loud weed out there. You would think we would have one black grower distributor of good marijuana in states where it is legal for medical and recreational purposes. Well, I know that there are a lot of black people who are trying to get marijuana licenses. However,
they're priced out of it.
Yeah, California, it's $26,000 just to apply, from what I understand.
And so, you got to have $2 million.
Isn't it like a lottery type of thing, too?
Well, it's a lottery to get selected for a permit.
But I'm saying, but you still got to put in your $26,000, so it's not guaranteed.
And non-refundable.
Non-refundable, so, you know, Ray and Poogie like shit.
You got to have $2 to $3 million in reserve as a guarantee that you can.
Yeah, we keeping the weed hustle on the ground. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, who wants to potentially give up? And you know how they going to do us too well. Mr. Johnson, you weren't selected. Thanks for the money, though.
Right.
Right, so keep the weed business on the ground. I mean, until we can get in. Now, okay, you know what, Facebook gods or whoever, I'm not trying to say nothing illegal here. I'm just saying, you know, Ray and Pookie and them, y'all doing it underground, save some of that money so y'all can come above ground. And like you said, Charles, get in legally. Have enough money to play with.
Do you guys realize a lot of these so-called businessmen, Donald Trump, let's say, a failed businessman, the guy who basically wants to be a mafia don, they're all crooks. But somehow they're on the legal side.
Well, because they didn't trick off the money.
Exactly.
They did some underground stuff, and then they ended up doing it right. They
play the game.
They washed the money.
Right, wash the money, play the game.
And then so, Benny says, I just need you to keep doing what you're doing tonight. You're speaking so powerful tonight. 100. He says, thank you guys so much for the words. You know what? And no, thank you, because like I said, without you guys, we would just be two people talking. Me and Donovan talk enough. And so we can't do this without you. I'll say that. I know we see a lot of people all the time. Yeah. And I don't want to discount what they're saying, but it's to me, it's like I'm not gonna sit. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit and watch you just yammer on about absolutely nothing all day. So thank you.
Well, and we also found a niche to where, everybody knows what's going on with Cardi B and all that other stuff. There's plenty of people talking about that, but there's not enough people talking about what we need to do as a people to move forward, because other people are surpassing us very quickly.
Surpassed.
And we've been here a lot longer.
Right.
When are they going to start addressing our issues? But you know what? They're not. We have to start saving ourselves.
Absolutely, brother. You said a mouthful. And then Samuel says, until we reach a certain level, black folks in our ignorance boycott black businesses. Yeah, I mean, why do that?
We
but
do.
And this is what I say too, there's no such thing as a perfect business. I don't care where you go, there is nothing perfect. But let's not hold our own I'm not saying we shouldn't hold ourselves to high standards, but let's not be ridiculous. Let's not, it's like, I was talking to my daughter, I said, I just think innately we just have this thing, we just got to go after each other. Oh, it wasn't right. I wouldn't go in there no more because, I don't like how the table was sitting toward the door. Right. Or just something silly.
Right. A good example, like me and this lady in town, she's a black woman, highly educated. A lot of people don't know there's a personal issue between us, and I say it all the time, but people make it seem like I just go after her and we're going after each other because we just have this dislike of each other. No, I'm going after her based on facts of how she presents herself. Do I downgrade her education and her accomplishments? Not at all. But ethically, no, she's wrong. And I can't tell you how many people go after me for the simple fact doing the job that I'm doing politically. Well, politically, you know what I mean? I mean,
politically.
But the funny thing is, when I'm proven right, nobody ever comes and says, you know what, Donovan, you were right about that.
That's par for the course, brother.
Yeah,
that's par for the course.
Exactly.
All right. And then Ali says, I personally think to help the black community is not to let weed get legalized or illegalized. Pants sagging. So you said we shouldn't deal with weed at all? Well, I would say this. I don't smoke weed, never smoke weed, don't even know what it's like to be high off of weed. Looking at me crazy one more time. Okay?
Exactly.
I don't. But I think we should have it legalized. Sure, people don't go sell it, they don't smoke it. Why not make it legal? I mean, what the politicians are doing, they're making it legal so they can enrich themselves, just like prohibition and alcohol. Yeah. When the little man was doing it, we need to outlaw it. But when people was making money off of the underground, it's like, okay, you know what?
Hey, let's open.
And that's how the crime mob, the mob syndicate came about because of that. They're of greed. So I don't have a problem with it being legal. You know.
Well, I'm at a point to where the game is over. I mean, the game is pretty much over. I mean, why not? What's the worst that's going to happen at this point? Right.
Take it over.
Well, I won't do that because like I said, to me, anybody that does drugs, non-prescription, even though prescription drugs are killing people, to me, they were always losers.
Well, some people, this is another argument for another day, some people will argue that prescription drugs are worse.
Yeah.
But Tay says, random topic, but I'd like to talk about the state of parenting in the black community. I'd like an in-depth convo one day. Well, we can have it today, so what's on your mind? Hey, Ben. You says, I've just seen some things recently that bothers me. Okay, well, Tay, so I don't see any more comments. Let me know what's on your mind. We can absolutely have that. And that's what I wanted to do, too, was have an open discussion. I put it on my last one, but as you guys know what happened with that live feed.
But it's funny that Tay said that, because what did we talk about these parents that are in love with their children? We said that. I say it constantly.
Oh, she says she's driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I say it constantly. There's a problem with these new parents, our generation and stuff. There's a difference between loving your children and being in love with your children. And I'm coming across as a older guy. I'm almost 50.
Yeah, you're pretty old.
Yeah, I'm almost 50. You're 25 still. I don't know how you do it, but 1925. I don't know how you do it, but I'm coming across women that are and I was at my aunt and uncle's earlier this morning, and they even acknowledged the fact that they're taking care of their grandchildren, which is nothing wrong with that. However, how can I find it's hard for me to find a mate when she still wants to do things with her children, and it's like, wait, you're done. You've already raised your kids. You need to move on and let them do their thing.
Well, we can get into that. Just 1 second. And Al says, somebody's wise dad, no names, once said, for black people, nobody cares how much you know until they know you care, or they know how you care.
How you care. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we, at the end of the day, and Benny always says this, we have to start with self-love, black love, knowledge of self. And we also have to, I don't know how we fix ourselves, but as Dr. Joyce DeGruy always talks about, that black people, we are ill from post-traumatic
slave disorder.
Slave disorder, and that we are still suffering from the effects of slavery almost 500 years ago. It says low connection. Okay, connection available. From almost 500 years ago, we are suffering still to this day. And so until we recognize that and figure out how to fix that, we're probably going to always be, it's going to be what they call cyclical. It's just going to go in circles. We'll have some good days and then we'll have some bad days. But until we recognize that we have issues, it's going to be a really hard uphill battle. But again, because I don't see any more comments, in regards to starting where you are, with what you have, that also means that we have to reach out and teach each other. We got to reach out and just, even if it's, hey, brother, how you doing today?
Right.
Even if I don't know you, how you doing?
And that's a good point. What do I always say in the morning? Look at a black woman and her fist is bald in the morning. But it's really sad that we can't say good morning to each other.
But I guess I've seen it too. But we gotta ask ourselves, because black women get tasked, and I'm not saying black men don't either, but we get tasked with a lot of stuff that's unfair to us. Like you said, that we appear to be angry. Mm-hmm. Have you ever just went up to a sister and said, you know what, how's everything doing?
Hell no. Was she ready to bite your head off and fight you?
But did you
Hell
die?
No.
Did you die?
Yeah, when she went for that razor.
You know what? I mean, I'm just saying, have we ever just, somebody, and I'm not admonishing you, but I'm just saying in general, have we ever just went up to one of these said black women who are very evil and angry? Have we ever just say, hey, sister, how you doing? I just want to say hi to you. I just just want to see how you doing.
And then
how's your day going?
And then they look at you like you're some kind of psycho.
Well, I mean, but you know what, black women, we have a lot of issues. Some of them we caused ourselves, but a lot of them we didn't. Yeah. And so sometimes it just does it does us good to know that you care, that you took the time to reach out to us and say, hey, sister, how you doing? Because you know who I see do that a lot is my dad. Mm-hmm. My dad, oh my God, it's like when he sees black people, he lights up.
Well, here's the thing with your dad. The brother's smooth. I mean,
true he is.
Yeah, the brother's smooth.
My dad is smooth, but I'll tell you, whenever my dad, he's 74, sees a black woman, oh my God, he like sings hello.
Oh yeah.
How you doing, sister? Oh, you beautiful black woman. How you doing today? Okay, you have a great day. That's how he talks.
I know.
I mean, not one black woman can pass this man without him. And some of the black women are just, I'm good, I've never seen a black woman say, ugh.
Well, and then it's all about, like you say, delivery. His delivery is smooth.
Yeah, but
his appearance is smooth.
But yes, we just gotta stop being afraid to reach out to
I can say this in the military, because you wake up in the morning, you go to work. We always say good morning to each other in the military, because that's what you do. You just, hey, good morning, Sergeant so and so, good morning, Captain so and so. You just do it. So when I meet somebody, or even I see somebody, hey, good morning. Even if they don't respond to me, I do it. But then as I pass them, I wonder what could be so tedious to this woman. It is 6 in the morning and she is just
life in general. And I hope I say this right, verily. Forgive me if I said it wrong. You says, Bismillah, hello from China. Hello.
Oh, I was just in Peking. All right.
Causing trouble. Did you see him over there causing trouble? And Al says, does religion help black people or does it compound exponentially? I'm trying not to get in a lot of trouble here because I don't want to be offensive to people who do go to church and things like that. But if I had a blanket answer to if religion helps black people, I'm going to say, how about I say yes and no? I know that's kind of a cop, but I'm going to say yes and no because I know that I have spent a lot of time in a black church and it has helped me learn some things. It has helped me in my belief system. I'm not saying believing in certain things, but just helping me to be a little bit more positive and clinging on to certain things. But on the other side, black churches have not helped black people collectively, because the black church has collected a whole lot of money. They say to the tune of what, $400 million, I think,
annually,
or maybe it's got to be more than that. I'll just say
annually.
No, not annually. Since the 1980s, it's been
more than that.
Into the billions. Okay,
yeah, it's
and so you look at the communities that a lot of the black churches are built in, and the communities they're like dilapidated. So the black church is taking in all this money, and they're specifically just helping that building, which is fine. But a lot of those black people who go to your black church live in those communities where the buildings are ran down. There's no, like, why doesn't the church open up a black store?
Right.
Why not open up some black grocery stores, some black beauty supplies, black clothing stores?
Why isn't the black church the center of an economic area?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They have
community.
the money. And that's another thing, too, on the sheet that I was looking at, where black people spend the most money. It was, oh, gosh, I want to say $23 billion a year goes to, they call it charitable giving, which we know that is church and tithing.
So that's the pastor's sports cars and...
Right,
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So does the black church help black people? I'm going to say yes and no. It helps us, to try to give us a spiritual foundation. But on the other side, like I said, with all the money and resources that it has, it does not give back to the black community. Never should your pastor be driving over or through a neighborhood that is dilapidated, and you have black people with no jobs and a whole host of other things.
On the side of the street.
Yeah, black people going in and out of the Arabs and the Asian stores, and they're driving their Bentley into the church parking lot to come suck more money out of the community.
What kind of church are...
But those pastors don't even live in a community.
Right, that's what I'm saying. What kind of church are you going to where the pastor's driving a Bentley?
Oh, trust me, there's a church.
No. I know that, but what I'm trying to say to the people is, ask yourself that. A man of God doesn't need a Bentley because he tells you all your treasures are in heaven. Why isn't his?
I'm going to tell you this. I don't have a problem with the man of God having a Bentley. I do have a problem with the man of God having a Bentley and sister so-and-so is catching the bus. I do have a problem with that.
Absolutely.
And so James says, I greet everyone black purposefully. I do too. Hello, how you doing? And they, I've never had nobody go,
So let me ask you a general question.
Let me get these comments really quick. And then Alia says, Tom Joyner has a weekly segment called Black Girl Problems, mostly about their bad attitude or having a good day. He says, so mostly about their bad attitude or having a good day. I don't like the whole bad attitude thing, because Tom Joyner, you have such a big platform. Why promote the negative stereotypes about black women having bad attitudes?
It's not a stereotype.
It is a stereotype, because black...
It is not a stereotype.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you why. So let's get to... Do you want to put my teacher hat on again?
Go ahead, put it on. I need to learn.
Okay. All right. What's a stereotype?
A stereotype is a not true.
A stereotype is an opinion formed out of ignorance or a lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And so, do black women have bad attitudes? Yes. But bad attitudes are not ubiquitous or exclusively owned by black women. Every woman has a bad, not everyone, but every race of women have women who have bad attitudes. That is not something we own specifically. However, it is something that is highlighted unfairly, because as Dr. Claude Anderson says, we don't own the media, less than 3%. And so those images of us as black women go out, and shame on Tom Joyner for highlighting those things. Like, why? Why do you need this, for comedic purposes? That's not funny. Black women have enough issues, and then we have our black men making fun of us.
Okay, so a good example. So you would say, like, the Medea thing is wrong.
Yeah, I don't like Medea. Is she funny?
Big Mama. That's wrong.
Yeah, it's funny, but then it's like, okay, what's your point? We know that the white executives are paying you this money as black men to dress up as big black women and act the goddamn fool, excuse my French. And then you say it's pronounced their role. Oh, okay, their role.
Their role.
Nice. And Al says, black church, cookies and punch. I'm going to hurt you. I swear for God. And Daryl, he says, it's 8:10 Monday morning in China. I have a class to teach. I will stay tuned to your show. Thanks. Oh, awesome.
You could it's always archived, so you can always come back and pick it up.
Hey, Jackie, what's happening? And Al said it's very pellucid. See, he's trying to be funny now. We use these big words, that black churches have little apathy for the community. Well, black churches can have little apathy for the community because, and Ricky Martin says, yes, Dr. Claude Anderson, we love him. But the church can have little apathy for the black community because we allow them to.
Right.
How dead do you have to be? My connection was tripping. How dead do you have to be to continuously, not even just the black church, but give anybody all of your money that's not giving you anything back? In an investment world, they call that a return on your investment. So why would you give something that's like dumping money into a stock that's continuously tanking? Why would you continue to fund a stock that is not doing well? It's the same thing.
Like that golf course in England that Donald Trump owns and that doesn't make any money.
It's the same concept with the black church or these other businesses that set up in a black shop. They're not giving us a return on our investment. We're giving them all of our money, and we're getting absolutely nothing back in return for it. So that's not economically sound. And that's the kind of stuff we need to start telling each other. So, in regards to like Black Friday, no, you won't see me out there. You
won't see me.
I don't need to give nobody else no money. I need to keep all the money I got in my bank account.
A good example, you won't see me in Black Friday because I took all my money and reinvested it into my property to where I increased the value of my property.
Yes.
So I don't have any business going out there throwing any more money away.
Right. But for what? What you going to get out there on Black Friday that you don't already have?
So how many people have 8?
And how many Spider-Man suits do you have?
3.
I'm just saying, what else do you need?
That's pretty much it.
We all don't, and this is what I'm going to keep promoting this documentary. It's called The Century of the Self. Hey, Jonelle, I haven't seen you on. I think that you're probably in Facebook jail. I cannot wait for you to get out. Jonelle always brings so much insightfulness to the show. Yes, Poweronomics, or Power Economics, Ricky. That's Dr. Claude Anderson's masterpiece. And so I forgot what I was saying because I saw that Jonelle was on there. But we're saying something about houses or something.
Yeah, we're investing money into the house.
Oh yeah, you don't need to be out there spending any money. That's the thing too. We really do need to start buying properties and things like that.
But you were really saying about how that show that you're going to keep telling people.
Oh, man, old age is catching up to you girls. Yeah. Y'all see these little gray hairs in here? It's catching up to y'all. The rabbit is getting old, I tell you.
The rabbit is getting old, baby.
It's called The Century of the Self. It's a documentary on YouTube. It was originally on PBS called The Century of the Self. It's in 4 parts, about 4 hours long, and it talks about how we got to be consumers, we being American society. Obviously, black people are counted in the American society. And once you guys start watching that, you're going to be like, well, I'll be a, what do they call it, a mummy uncle, whatever they call it. That was probably very racist what I said. But, you'll be blown away at how we got here. We have been duped, you guys. We have been duped.
I haven't been duped. But
yes, you have. You've been duped because you got too many Spider-Man suits, too many Dr. Spocks. This dude literally runs around in full-body Spider-Man suits because he has nothing else to do.
I'm trying to save my neighborhood.
Right. You try to shoot a web in your black ass and fall.
Remember, I have the red and white one, but I also have the black spider suit.
I know, I've seen it.
Exactly.
So we don't need these things, but something has told us that we need to spend all this money. Oh, girl, you got a black jacket, but the brown one would be nice. Right. And you need some brown boots to go with it. I got 2 pair of feet. I don't need 100 pair of shoes.
It's funny that you say that because there are a lot of young people out here who are economically disadvantaged. Can I say that?
Yeah.
And yet they have 30 pairs of Jordans sitting in their closet. And the women have 40 pairs of shoes for different things, and they continue to keep buying.
Indeed, a women with a lot of shoes is that's every woman. No, not every woman, because I don't have 40 pairs of shoes. But that's just, I think, a woman thing.
But what I'm saying, accessible.
No, I know that. Yeah, but we've just been taught that we need to have all of these shoes and clothes and jeans. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have 1 pair of jeans. 1 pair of jeans.
But she has 12 themed booty shorts. 12 booty shorts.
Okay, 2 pair of booty shorts. You a lie. But anyway, no, because listen, I don't have that insatiable need to just have a closet full of clothes. You guys have probably seen me with different the same shirt twice. I don't care. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's a shirt. It goes on my body. I don't need to. I'm not one of those people who I can't have them seeing me in the same shirt twice. Shoot, let me go on out there and go and get in debt so I can get I mean, it's not that. When I was younger, I didn't think like that when I was younger. But anyway, let me get to this comment. Al says, you and Donovan are making some interesting
dichotomies?
Yes, dichotomies about the diminutive ways black people are making
small
in group economics. Let me tell you something.
That's your man.
You ain't always got to try to be the smartest man in the room because you know all these big 20-syllable words and all this other stuff. I can read. I just don't know what most of those words mean.
Now here's my question.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah, here's my question. Now, you are dealing with a man that has still children that he's raising.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you this. Does your man, he will be nameless, is he in love with his children or does he love his children?
Oh, what you ain't finna do is get me broken up.
No, I'm just asking.
You ask him that.
You know? Is he in love, in your opinion, is he in love with his children or
Al, are you in love with your children or do you love your children? The difference is when you in love with your children, you will let them get away with murder and highway robbery and slapping your mom. Then you let them do whatever and justify it. Now, when you love your kids, you hold them accountable and do things that are painful to you and to them for their good. So that's the difference.
And at the same time, you being in a relationship, of course you love your children, whatever, but would you sacrifice your relationship for your children if they were grown?
No. Charles said yes.
I thought you said let him answer.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, well, yeah, Al, you answer because I listen. I said I ain't trying to be single again. But anyway, no, I mean, yeah, so, just to kind of close that last point, I mean, we need to hold on to our money and do productive and conducive things with our money.
So what do you say that we should do as black people coming this Friday?
Coming this Friday, stay home. Or if you have an itch to go buy something, go buy black. There's a lot of online black stuff. You can, we all know something black somewhere. Go buy black if you just need to spend your money. Hell, even go open up a black bank account, although some people will say, well, the black bank accounts are still regulated by the FDIC. They are still under governmental control. But hell, it's a start. Yeah. It's a black bank. Go maybe open up a black bank account for your children. I think all of our kids, and I know all of our kids should have a bank account to start saving. I tell the story all the time how my mom and my dad, when me and my siblings were young, I've always had a bank account probably since I was 5. Just to be honest with you, I've never not had a bank account. My mom and dad started us a savings.
Well, remember that time when the checks kept bouncing?
No, you know what? If I'm lying to fly, I ain't never bounced no checks.
Neither me. Thank God the payday kept catching up.
You stupid. You was floating checks. Donovan was floating checks.
In the military.
I mean,
floating them.
Have I floated a check once or twice? Yeah, it just kind of worked out for you, girl.
Right.
Exactly. But as far as bouncing a check, no. Right. But the point that I'm making is for Christmas, go to a black bank, open up a bank account for your kids. Teach them how to start saving. You want some Jordans? I tell you what, we're going to put this Jordan money in your bank account.
Or how about this, okay? And I'm a finance guy. So here's the thing.
Hey, Asada.
Here's the thing. If your kids are into Jordans and stuff, instead of buying them a pair of Jordans, take that $300 and invest in the Nike company.
Yeah, invest in Nike.
Get you some stock.
Right. And then Charlie says, damn ATM fees go to our own, to get our own money. No, absolutely. See, I avoid that. I'm not going to pay the store ATM $4 and then my service fee $3.50. That's the damn near $10 to get your own money. Go to the bank like the old people used to do and withdraw some money that you're gonna spend, or go to a grocery store where you can buy something and get some cash back. But ain't no way in hell I drive 10 miles.
Exactly.
10 miles out the way not to spend no extra money.
Right, and I'm going to give you guys another stock tip. Since we're going down this road of marijuana, start buying stock in the marijuana pharmaceutical companies that are going to be backing the marijuana thing.
Start now.
So if you get in now while the prices are low enough, because like I said, once the stuff gets legalized on the federal level, it's going to be too late and it's going to be too high to get in there. So there's a tip for you to
all right, money guy.
Because Demetria ain't going to tell you this. She's got some stock in the marijuana industry.
I don't smoke it though. I did not inhale. Okay? And Al says, allow me to elucidate. If anyone tries to do anything abysmal to my 3 daughters, I will personally put my foot so far up their ears that man else would think it grew there.
There you go. There you go.
Elucidate
now,
and all of that.
Now, there is a father that is protecting his daughters like he's supposed to.
Absolutely. And Charles says, Bill Clinton unregulated the financial industry.
He did.
Yeah, well,
He did.
Why did he do that, though?
But, see, okay, that's a misnomer. He didn't unregulate. The president does not have the power to do that.
He spearheaded the mess.
Yeah, he signed off.
Right.
So he's the
But why
executive.
did he do that?
About the money.
Is he now enriched because of doing
Yes,
so?
he is.
Is him and his wife not friends with
Well,
all of Wall Street?
Yes, but you got to remember when they left the White House, they were basically bankrupt. People
And
believe
what are
it.
they worth, like $100 million or
No,
something like that?
more than that. Almost $500 million.
I read an article, too, where it says the Obamas are on track to being a $1 billion entity.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Worked out for some. Hey.
Hey.
That's where our reparations went.
That's where our reparations went.
Obama got our reparations. And also, Tay is back. And so, anyway, and so, Tay, I don't know if you're still driving. If you wanted to ask your question really quick, if you guys have any other questions you guys want to ask us since we're still on here, we'll be more than happy to answer them.
I'm going to give you guys another stock tip. If you really want to make some money and stuff, what's the one thing that is still going and will always be going and will always make money? The defense industry. Invest in Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. Those stocks, minimum, just to get one stock is $300. And that's cheap for now. Think about what that stock's going to be worth 10 years from now. With the tax cut that just recently happened for the rich, a lot of those stocks split. I got a dividend off those stocks that added up to over something like a couple $1,000.
We're going out to dinner afterwards?
You got a man.
Al, are you taking those stock tips? Anyway, you make a good point. Mm-hmm. You make a good point in that if we are going to spend money this Christmas, buy our kids something they can use.
Right.
Whether it's a book, you know what? Buy your children Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. There's a whole host of black books that they can use. Make them read it. Pay them a couple bucks for a book report every once in a while to get them to read those books. I mean, I know it's a little different than having a PlayStation, or the latest toys. That's how old I am. I don't even know what the latest toys there are. But whatever the latest toys, that's different. Buy them some stocks. Get them a bank account. Buy them some books. Like, knowledge is something that that'll never go out of style. Buy your children something they can read. Hell, read the books with them.
If you buy a stock now, let's say your child is 7 years old. By the time that child, if you put, let's say, $5 in that stock every week, that's $20 a month. By the time that child graduates high school, how much do you think that money will be worth, depending on what stock you've invested in?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
And also, to your point, you want another good Christmas idea for Black Friday? Contact your local life insurance person.
Yes.
Black, preferably. And buy your child a life insurance policy. For those of you who have very small children, it is very inexpensive to insure your child. You will be paying that premium for that child until they die, for the rest of their life, or until you give it up. So if you buy it now when it's inexpensive, you will never have to pay more. The child is not sick, more than likely. And so basically it's healthy. It doesn't have no DUIs. It doesn't have a criminal background, which all those things work against you when you're trying to get life insurance. Buy your child a life insurance policy that will earn cash value, so that when it is older and wants to graduate high school, you can pay for college. Hell, if they want to get married, you can pay for the wedding, buy them a car, help a down payment on a house, depending on how much money you put in that life insurance policy. You can buy them a house. And so we got to stop feeding our children with the instant gratification. You know what, son?
That adds up to nothing.
Yes, I got you a Christmas present. Oh, you did, Dad? Where is it? Well, it's not nothing you can see, son, but what it is it's this life insurance policy that when you graduate from high school, you can go to college without having to get into debt by going to get student loans that a lot of us will pay off when we're dead. Or or the company will call your kids and say, hey, your dad's estate,
after all is said and done, here's $1,000.
So here's what you're getting for Christmas. Oh, by the way, I also got you a book to learn how to get along economically with our people. And so that way, when you do have some money, you decide to cash out this life insurance policy I'm getting you, you can open up a black business or do black business with black people. So see, there you have it. We got great Christmas things here.
Yeah,
Let's see.
You know, a true story. My mom one Christmas came, and not only I got a few presents. We didn't get a lot of presents because my mom was a widowed mother, but she started us off on the savings bond. And when I graduated and we went to high school, I had all those savings bonds. I put them all together. That was a nice chunk of change to buy a car.
Right, and that's what my mom did. She bought all the grandkids savings bonds.
Mm-hmm. And they have $25 savings bonds, you know, and 25 at what? That's $12.50. I guess that's half of whatever it is.
It adds up.
So, I mean.
And then Ali says, I have an aesthetic Christmas for black women. It's ear condoms. The purpose is for the sisters to filter out and protect them from all the damn lies and N-words tell. You know what? Yeah, okay.
All I want for Christmas is Afro Thunder to make an appearance.
Her next comment is coming from her. Okay. And she says, 20 times 12 times 10 equals $2,400 in just what you've invested, $4,800 for a match, and possibly a whole lot more if you're playing Trump's market.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Amanda's the mathematical genius. Amanda is my sister. She is a math teacher. One thing you ain't gonna do is tell
fudge the numbers.
You ain't gonna fudge the numbers with that girl, okay? If she say this, that, and the other is this, you just say okay.
That's it.
Mathematical genius. But you know what? Another thing about my sister too, she is financially savvy as well. She does not spend her money on a lot of high-end things. My sister likes her time.
Sexy.
So she's frugal with her money.
Yes.
You know,
the kind of woman I'm looking for. Yes.
Well,
yes.
You know, you gotta wait till she's available.
She's available. I told you, look, we gotta keep him.
And then Charles says, you're on pure fire from start to finish. I don't know why I couldn't share on my page. I don't know either. I'm public.
The government's trying to shut you down. You're trying to wake folks up.
Well, you know what? It is what it is. And Amanda says, see you in heaven, baby.
She's talking about, I put something on your mom's thing where like,
I say, what's going on here?
Yeah, my future mother-in-law.
Oh, God. And Al says, Al's Jack joke of the day, black women love finding money in their clothes. It's like a gift to them from them. Right, you know.
Okay, wait, and since Amanda's listening, all I want for Christmas is a picture of you in that tube top. 2018 version.
2018 version. You talking about the red one that you had on.
Yeah.
Woo! Rabbit is getting old. Rabbit is getting old. So anyway, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of great ideas. Again, like I said, you know, and I want to reiterate this point. We got to stop teaching our kids it's about being instantly gratified. I'm not saying the kids shouldn't have, you know, something that they want, but let's give them something that's going to last. Because one thing I would say about white folks is this, and y'all can argue with me if you think I'm wrong. White folks and other people believe in leaving a legacy for their family and their kids, which is what they call old money. Old money comes from way, way, way back then. Back in the day, too, I'll give you guys a little history lesson real quick. Black people, in regards to life insurance policies, we were discriminated against, if you will, in that they only sold us burial plots.
Right.
They didn't sell us the policies that would guarantee us a return on our investment or cash value, because they didn't want us to get ahead. They want us to stay stagnant. Nigga, when you die, you're going in the ground with this burial policy. You're not going to have no lump sum of money to leave to your family so they can get on their feet. What we want to do is bury you and then leave the debt with your family, and then continuously leave them in debt. And because we know that you guys won't do your research, we'll give you a burial policy. You'll have to go sell some fish dinners and car washes and get a loan to bury mom. And then now guess what? You have more debt.
More debt. Exactly.
Instead of going to get a life insurance policy that will bury mom and also leave you a lump sum of money. Because I say this, and I tell you guys this all the time, I have a life insurance policy on myself and on my daughter. And when I get married, I will have one on my man and he will have one on me, because the last thing I'm going to do, God forbid that my man or my daughter goes, is take my ass back to work after 5 days bereavement, 3 paid, 2 unpaid. That means I got to go off, bury my child, God forbid, or my man, and then come right back to the hustle. Because you know why? I didn't have the money to prepare, because God forbid something that happens. For one thing, I want to go to the local state hospital and rock there until I get myself together. But also, I'm going to have a peace of mind in knowing that my house is not going to be foreclosed. My car is not going to be repoed. I'm not going to go in a bunch of debt. As a matter of fact, I'm giving the bird to this job because I got enough money now to go do the things I want to do. Right. If I die, My daughter is going to be able to go on and live the life that I would have wanted her to live.
If she doesn't trick it off, you know.
No, she won't do that.
But you know, a lot of us have
yeah,
a lot of problems.
I would never want to leave my daughter behind because she's my only child. I would never want to leave her behind with nothing.
Right, and you got to think about why people, when they talk about legacy, think about all the slaves that were left to their kids. They didn't let us go. They just said, "Okay, I'm done." No, they said, "Here."
But that's what we do. When we don't prepare. Now listen, and I want to say this to you guys too. I don't have the ability to sell life insurance, so that's not why I'm talking about it. I used to sell life insurance. The issue is near and dear to my heart because I talk to a lot of us because I used to sell a lot of policies to us as black people, but I would hear it all. Oh, I don't want to leave them rich. Well, shit, that's a bill. You know what I can do with that? And I was on the other side of the phone when they called and said, well, damn, is my mama policy paid up?
Yep.
No, Miss Jenkins didn't pay her bill last month. What you mean? Y'all style? But damn, you know your mama was sick and y'all didn't make sure her policy was in.
Right.
So I've seen it all. And so like I said, I'm passionate about that because.
And that is the #1 issue of how white people keep their wealth.
Yes, it's life insurance. I'm scratching my head now because I got all the stuff coming out. But life insurance is an investment that allows you to store money tax free. What is it? The gain? I think you have to pay money on the gains, but the rest of it is tax free. And so that's how rich people do it. They hide their money in life insurance policy. It's called Rule 7702. That allows a tax rule.
The Trumps did it.
That allows you to grow money in a life insurance policy and avoid some tax penalties. And so that's not very hard. Just find a good life insurance person you trust and say, hey, me and my family don't have a life insurance policy. We need something that's affordable, but that's going to allow us to do A, B, C, and D. But ultimately, what it allows you to do is prepare for an untimely death and that you're not caught off guard by having fish fries and car washes and GoFundMes. GoFundMe is not the new life insurance.
You got to think about it. These tax loopholes and stuff like that, if the rich people can use it, you can use it as well. Donald Trump was a millionaire by the time he was 9 years old because his dad, Fred, was giving him his inheritance ahead of time, which avoided a lot of the tax to it.
That's how you do it.
You know, it works.
Right. And Arcee says, thank you very much about the tips, Donovan. But very briefly, I just get back on the church issue. Oops. Ooh, I should have saw this a long time ago. On the church, very briefly, the black churches. Oh, wait, go back. Ooh. But very briefly, just to get back on the church issues you guys mentioned, I'm going to be very brief. The black churches are indeed both good and bad for us. I think because of the history behind it, I'm not down with them, but the fact is socially they can help individuals. Many folks do feel more fulfilled when they go to church, etc. But I have a question here. Say we were to wake all the blacks up and make them understand they shouldn't go, or at least try and change the almighty pastor's ways. When comes Sunday, they will feel like praising. So where shall we tell them to go to get together? We have some kind of structured alternative for the mass population? Well, that is actually a good question. Honestly, church would not be a bad entity if church was serving the needs of the community. The church is not necessarily doing that. I'm not saying that none of them do, but overall, for the money they take in, we're not seeing
a return on our investment.
We're not seeing that. But the thing is this, though, it's like the same question we have, like, well, who will lead us?
Right. Why
can't we lead ourselves? Why can't we go get knowledge ourselves, or the people we know that are trying to impart wisdom upon us? Why don't we listen to that? So I don't necessarily think that the church is bad all the way, but I think that it doesn't. It's not conducive. It doesn't give back.
Yeah, it's not giving us any solutions to the problems that ail our community.
And Al says, I'm happy and disappointed at the same time, baby. I miss you. I feel like I took a Viagra before our dinner date and got stood up. What a hard pill to swallow. You know what? You need to go sit down somewhere. Hey, Anthony. And Al says, ask D&D, should married couples have a separate personal bank account aside of having a joint account? Yeah, I don't see why not. If we have a joint account where we're taking care of all the bills in the household, the savings, the insurances, and all of that stuff, yeah, I don't see a problem with us having a separate bank account. You have your money to go do what you want to do, and I have my money, and then we have a bank account. I don't see the problem, but now if you're having a separate bank account to be deceptive, then that's a problem. You probably shouldn't be with that person in the first place. But yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, here's my opinion on it. a happy wife means a happy life. Just give her your check, and that way it's all on.
Right on, brother. Right on.
See, I knew you'd agree with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then see, Garden says life insurance is a sure bet because everyone's gonna die. You ain't lying.
You got that right,
okay?
brother.
Amen.
Amen.
Like they said at the cemetery, everybody's dying to get in.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
Hey, Alex. And then Benny says, my mama drilled this into me and my sisters had since we were little. Oh, my goodness, Demetra, you are speaking to my heart tonight. I am literally in tears right now.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what? Your mom was a very wise woman. And we need more women like her.
They are a lost breed.
They don't make them like they used to. I will say that.
They don't.
But we need more women like that taught us the importance of longevity and not the importance of right now.
Right.
I want to feel good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look good right now because, like I said, I lost my mom 2 years ago to the day of yesterday, and I don't know what we would have done if we weren't prepared because it wasn't. It costs money. It just does. It's something we all have to deal with.
And when she got sick, it was so quick.
Right. Hell, God forbid, I'm not speaking this on none of us, but we can step off the curb right now and be a wrap.
It's a wrap.
So you want to be prepared. And then Al, he says, Donovan, I repped your city the other day about the wildfires. Yes. And
there you go.
And then Al says if Benny needs cheering up, I got him all the way.
There you go.
We know you do. But yeah, it's just we got to just start having those conversations with each other. My daughter, she's 25, she'll be 26. Yes, she'll kill me if I keep telling y'all she doesn't want me to tell her age. She looks like she's 15 though.
Yeah, she does.
But I have these conversations with her.
Beautiful child.
She knows what my life insurance policy is.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens to me, we just have those conversations. She says, you're not going to go anywhere. I said, I know, but still,
And let me say this, in all seriousness, I know it sounds like I'm joking, but this is all seriousness. You need to have those conversations with your children because let's say something does happen to you or somebody like that. The first thing you need to do is tell your children to secure your home because your brothers and your sisters and aunts will come in there and take photos and things and then once they have it, possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah, I've actually seen that happen with a few relatives. A loved one passes away.
They run in there.
Yeah, everybody had come out the woodwork talking about, your grandma wanted me to have this. She told me last night before she passed.
Right.
Oh, she wanted me to. Yeah, you know what? Until further notice, the doors are locked.
Yeah, lock everything up.
And if we want you to have something, but yeah, you're right. Absolutely secure the documents. I've known people who have passed away and. Life insurance, even they got the life insurance policy, is null and void if the name is not on it. But just to to put a kink in the process, just taking house papers.
Or you have that estranged family member that gets left out of the will. If you can't find the will,
right? Well,
guess what? It goes to the state, and then
it goes to us if we're the next of kin.
Well, yeah, the next of kin.
But it's contestable.
But what I'm saying is, let's say, okay, like in our situation, me and Amanda, we're common law, right?
Right.
I've been left out of the will,
right?
Because my name isn't on it, even though I've been with her all these years, 30 years of my life. But that's what I'm saying.
Fool not getting no ring.
Exactly. But in all seriousness, like if you got a brother that might be the black sheep and stuff, they'll go in there. If there's no will, then by law, like you said, it's the next of kin. So if there's 4 children, it has to be divided equally.
I tell people this all the time because my brother is big on this. If it's in writing, there's no fighting. Right. Put it in writing. There's no fighting. Oh, your mama wanted me to have. Oh, she did.
Yeah, it's not in there.
It's funny.
Yeah, and you're gonna have brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles that'll come in there and say, "Your mama wanted me to do." Well, it's not here.
Right. And then Benny says, "Thanks, Al. I love your joke of the day, brother. Definitely can use it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. We are here for you." And Alex, she says, I have a life insurance policy that I've shared with my parents as well. Mm-hmm. I show them everything because something can happen to the offspring as well. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, update. Constantly update
your beneficiaries. Just put people that you trust in the know about you and your finances.
And with a life insurance policy, have a will. Please have a will and get it notarized.
Also, too, for a lot of people who might be saying, well,
that's a lot of work.
Well, not only that, but life insurance policy, that's just money I'm spending, and I'm probably not going to die until I'm 90. But there are life insurance policies we talked about before that have living benefits in that if you have enough cash value built up, you can pull it out and use it for whatever reason you might like. So, I mean, it's not all, bad. There's things you can do it. It's just really educating yourself. Yeah. But, get the process started. It is, when you guys have ever been on the other end of having to bury someone without a life insurance policy, it's tough.
Or be on the other end of having to make a life decision for somebody who's sick.
Yeah.
And you're stuck with that decision.
Right.
Without a living will, for yourself.
Right. I personally know somebody who went to that not too long ago, didn't have all of that per se as far as his final wishes, and before he went under, they put him in a medically induced coma. He just, I guess, on a whim said, I'm leaving my brother in charge. Well, it was said that his brother was very devious, and that when they asked if they wanted him to resuscitate him if something went wrong on the table, he said no, and he died, robbing his children of their father. Wow. So you just got to be careful.
You got to take care of yourself. You really got to, and your children.
And you know why he did it? Allegedly, is because he wanted his stuff. Which he never got because it belonged to his children, but he thought he was gonna, be, devious and get the stuff. He, helped take out his own brother over stuff. Yeah, and it happens. This ain't a movie. This stuff actually happens. Right. And Al says, I'm opening up a Black community assisted living center called After All I've Done for You. You silly.
I know. Well, we shouldn't. But that's a good one. I gotta give it to that. That was a good one.
After all I've done for you, you a fool.
But that does bring up a good point. When we were younger, there was no such thing as daycare because everything went to your family member, and there was no such.
Mama stayed at home.
Yeah,
Mama stayed at home.
And Black people, we did not put our parents in living assisting facilities.
And that's another thing too. I got. I was a fool. That one of the books that I got from the brother at the swap meet was one about how to homeschool your children. How Black people should homeschool their children. I haven't read it yet.
I don't think I'm ready for Fluffy and Isaac.
Yeah, I don't have any small kids, but if I know somebody who's trying to homeschool their children, I'll give it to them because I think that's really where we need to be. As I talk to you guys about all the time, I was fortunate enough for my mom to stay home. She was a house wife, I guess, a stay-at-home mom, if you will. So she was able to stay home with me and my siblings, and so we benefited greatly from that. Because my father went out and earned a living,
That's
and said,
right,
okay, right, So, and then Alex, you say, people fail to realize that life isn't about them; it's about the future. If you have the means to uplift your children in the future, that's what a life policy is to me. You're supposed to set up children for the future. No one teaches us that, so I've learned on my own. And and Alex is young; he's younger than us anyway. In his 20s, and he gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. You're absolutely right. Is that the life insurance policy, the living benefits for you, so like if you want to get the cash value, but the ultimate benefit is like you said, is for the loved ones that you leave behind that have to decide, that have to grieve and try to figure out how to, best put you away, if you will. You know, so it's you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Alex, have you ever heard of this term called, like right now, I'm 50 years old. I'm what you call.
He is not 50.
No, but I'm almost 50 years old. Have you heard of this term? I'm what is known now as an old fool. And I'm glad to be. And
you ain't never lied.
Right. And I'm glad to be known as that.
Right.
But there's also a thing known as a lot of dead young geniuses.
Okay.
And, being as young as Alex is, always keep that with you because I didn't understand what that meant until I got a little older, because there's a lot of young people that know everything and they're dead.
Right.
Versus somebody who lives a long time.
It's one thing to know everything, but it's another not to apply what you know.
Right.
That's where the rubber meets the road, is when you actually apply the knowledge. I mean,
having your insurance in line and think about all the young people that are dead that didn't have.
And I'll tell you guys this, and I say this all the time. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but there's been times when I was financially strapped. I mean, it's just part of life. But one thing I never ever did.
Never saw you on University Avenue.
Well, no, you never seen me tricking. Okay. But what I never did was let any of my insurances go. I don't care if it was life insurance, car insurance, house insurance, phone insurance. Yes. I never let any of that go. Those were like some of the first things that I took care of, because God forbid ain't nothing like something happening to somebody and you broke. Ooh.
Yes. But
just put me in there with them.
Yeah, you didn't let that go, but you took the dog back to the pound. You took the the clothes that still had the receipt back. He did all that stuff.
What does Malcolm X say? By any means necessary?
Any
The dog
means
got to
necessary.
go. Okay, he ain't going to be eating it. I'm not.
Right. He's trying to make
I've never even had a dog, so he's
Right.
nice. Okay, and so let's see. Al says, I have a product for black men. It's male genital spray. The scents are butterscotch, nutmeg, and oatmeal raisin. I don't know about that.
Oh my God.
And Alex, she said agreed, but I don't think he was agreeing to that nonsense.
Right.
And Alex says, when my stepdad's mother was on life support, she requested, don't resuscitate, but do reviving. What the hell?
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, y'all. So what time? I didn't bring my watch today.
48.
Oh, okay. So we're doing okay.
Right.
So y'all, you guys have any other comments or questions or concerns before we get out of here? Like I said, you know, and listen. I want to say this to you, beautiful black people. Beautiful black people. Can I just say this to you guys all? We know that Thanksgiving is coming up. A lot of people aren't as woke, as you will, as a lot of people. But listen, don't give people a hard time if they want to celebrate Thanksgiving. Last thing we need to see is a copious amount of posts talking about, oh, you dead black people, the Indians did this, or what are you celebrating Thanksgiving for? I'm going to tell you why I'm celebrating Thanksgiving. Honestly, I wasn't even going to celebrate it, but my sister-in-law and my brother, they got very small kids. They wanted their Tia to come over. That's what they call me, Tia. They wanted me to come over, and they requested that I bring some of my vegan stuff, and so I said, oh my God, you twisted
Yeah, that's
my
that
arm.
vegan stuff that kind of sits in the plate.
No.
Everybody
this
passes
vegan
it up.
stuff gets sopped up, okay?
Okay.
So they wanted me to come over. I'm not making any apologies about it.
Sure.
I'm going to spend time with my family. Honestly, I wanted to be at home with my daughter watching the Twilight Zone or something.
Marathon, right?
Yeah, but you know, I'm going to get out and be social because I'm not a very social person. But the point that I'm making is this. If people want to celebrate Thanksgiving, allow them to do that. Don't
Let a
browbeat
fool be
them.
a fool.
Well, I mean, if some people are not there.
Listen and understand that Terminator is out there. It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.